People think that being an apprentice means just cleaning up and grabbing tools for your foreman or journeyman all the time. That wasn't my experience. I was doing real electrical work pretty early on. To be honest, that's what made it all the more stressful. Early on, I was assigned jobs like pulling wire, running some conduit here and there, installing boxes, and real responsibility work early on, such as putting in feeder cables into meter stacks or running important cables like data or fiber. Making mistakes feel heavier because it's electrical. And if you screw something up, there could be some pretty big consequences later down the road. So making sure to double check everything has been something that is crucially important. Being an apprentice, there could definitely be some pressure since you are new and you're expected to perform a certain way maybe. You're overthinking a lot of things. You're always wondering if you're fast enough or if you're doing something in the right speed that your journeyman or foreman would want you to do. You always think, did I wire this correctly? You oftentimes don't want to look stupid. I can think of an example for me. When I was doing a job where I was setting up panels, like I would be like putting them up. I wouldn't actually work in the panels or enter the wires in, but I was just putting the panels up. And I thought that I was going kind of slow, like I should be done all these units in this apartment building like now or quick. But in actuality, when I was pretty much done for the day, my journeyman was actually quite happy with how fast I was going. So in the mindset of an apprentice, you might always think you're slow, you might always think you're this or that in the negative connotation, but realistically you're also still learning and you might not be as bad as you think you are. And also, if you ever have questions, be sure to ask, because if you don't, that could screw everyone else over later on. Then the learning curve. Electrical is a mental and physical job. It's mental in the sense that you're thinking of circuits and their routes and how to make it work so that it doesn't interfere with other trades or doesn't conflict with maybe certain code in the electrical code. You have to understand the how and why of things, and as well as understanding panels. And as soon as you get a click moment, that's when things start to make sense. So in other words, electrical is not just a matter of only setting things up or just running a wire through this and then you're done. You have to actually understand the why and being careful of any other problems that might be in the area or what you're doing. There's definitely a physical part to it that many people may find unattractive. On a job site or wherever you are at work, obviously it can depend on where you're working and if your site is a new construction or whatever, but you'll be climbing and carrying a lot of ladders. You'll be working overhead a lot, so your shoulders will complain. You can often be pulling heavy wire. Generally, the days are 8 hours, but sometimes they can maybe extend just a bit further than that, like maybe 9 hours or maybe even 10, depending if you have to make a drive to the site that's far away or to drive back, or just if you have to stay longer to work on and finish something real quick. It's not concrete work, but it isn't easy either. Now the pay and long game. As an apprentice, you are earning while you're learning, which is a very nice way of, jumping into a career. Like, not only are you learning, right, on the job, you're also being paid for it. And generally, as an apprentice in the trades, the pay isn't so bad. Obviously, depending on where you're working, maybe it's an industrial site or if it's maybe just a residential one in town, the prices will and can vary. But the nice thing is that over time, your pay will increase. First year is different than second, third, fourth, and then after that, there's possibilities of getting paid even more. Electrical and trades are skills that are in demand and will always be in need of, so that's good for the long game. And for me personally, I remember I got a comment and it was like, basically like how much I'm paid or just kind of how do I manage a lot of my expenses. The truth is, at my job, I'm not paid the highest. I'm like a few bucks over minimum wage, so it's pretty decent, but it's not the highest that someone can get as an apprentice. So just to really show that there is a dynamic of how it could be lower than others that are higher or whichever. And also, I'm very fortunate and blessed to still be able to live at home. So I don't have a lot of expenses as if I was living on my own. So that's really great. Because of that, it does make it easier for me to save. Going alongside my pay and my hours, I'm able to save quite well with where I'm at right now. Next, what does it build in you? Working in the trades, and I guess specifically for me, being an apprentice in electrical, is that it builds responsibility You know, you have to really be responsible for your work and that make sure you do it right and well. Going along with that, you have to pay attention to detail. Again, making sure that it doesn't conflict with anybody else, any other trades, or if it's correct to code, and just making it look nice. It can help build confidence. It helps with problem solving skills, and it also helps you with patience. I guess I could see patience being a part of it as like you might have to, on a job site, you can't just do all of your stuff all at once. You have to work together with the other trades, at least that's in my experience. So, you know, we might be ahead, but you know, we might have to wait for maybe plumbers or other people to kind of like catch up a bit so then we can keep going so that we don't get too ahead of ourselves, because that's not good. And I guess also patient could be also with the pay, that if you're an apprentice, you have to be patient with your pay. I guess depending on how much you're paid off at first. If it's not very high, you just gotta be patient that over time it will grow. On an ending note, kind of almost a year now, coming up on this May of 2026, I will be, I guess, fully a year working with my company. Of course, 100% it was stressful at first. I had no trade knowledge going into this other than the pre-app class that I took. I did mention my schooling. I'll leave the marker in one of these corners here so you guys can check it out if you'd like. And you will feel dumb sometimes because everyone else around you has so much more knowledge and experience, where, I mean, I guess it depends on the person, but say for me, I felt a little dumb at times because people had so much more experience and knowledge, and here I am at the bottom trying to figure it out, you know, asking these maybe silly or dumb questions to them, right? So definitely that I did feel that at first, but once it does start to click, once you start to understand and start to ask more questions, it definitely does start to get better and make more sense. This was my experience about being an electrician or electrical apprentice. If you guys did find it helpful or enjoyable, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to answer them. If you have any questions or things, videos that you guys would like to see, again, leave it in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one, Lord willing. Peace out.